Hey guys, I got to share something I've never told anyone before. But guess what? You're not alone in this. That's the real deal.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Real Room podcast with myself, Ross, and my other two co hosts as well.
Hi, I'm Jess. Welcome to the Real Room.
Hi, I'm Hayleigh J. Welcome to the Real Room.
Fantastic. So, it's been a few days, maybe weeks, since we last did an episode. So, today we are going to talk a bit about mental health and appointments with NHS and how understaffed they are, and obviously
Undereducated.
Yeah, that's one. Thank you, Hayleigh.
It's okay, Ross. I'm here for you. Don't worry. I've got you, baby. I've got you.
So I'm gonna take it to Jess anyway, because obviously Jess has said a few things off camera before we all came on. So Jess, take it away, please.
Okay, so shall we start with the doom and gloom then? The NHS is looking pretty bleak at the moment. I was listening to a news reporter today talking about how they are intending on using puberty blockers for young people. And they're keeping this as priority when really you can't even get your medication as it is. What actually happens in these circumstances, if we start people off on specific medication, I've just had a friend who's just been hospitalized and had a stroke and a heart attack due to actually not having medication available to them. And this is something what you've been experiencing as well, isn't it, Hayleigh J? You also suffer with fits, and not being able to access medication is actually at a national crisis.
Yeah, I was hospitalised last Saturday after having like 7 seizures back to back, and I went to make a doctor's appointment and they're making me wait 8 days for it after having 7 seizures. So yeah, it's a bit of a touchy subject, isn't it, Jess?
Yeah, so my friend is currently in the hospital, and whilst he was in hospital, he had manic episodes. I think he's experienced significant amount of trauma, and unfortunately, you know, when we have that trauma and we end up having seizures, we become frightened and we can lash out. The last thing we would expect is our NHS to penalise people who are in absolute crisis, and unfortunately, he has court on Monday morning. But he's lost teeth. He's been beaten really badly by the coppers, a truncheon to the face, and beaten to the head. It's pretty severe out there. So like I remember like going into the hospital during 2020 in the pandemic. I went in for constipation, believe it or not. It's something I suffer with. That's full of shit.
So again, sore subject.
Sore subject. It's a real pain in the ass. But yeah, I remember
literally the definition of full of shit.
Literally. Only on a Friday if you're lucky. But basically, I was taking pictures of the hospital ward when they were saying that they had to have a certain distance. Do you remember 2 meters apart? Everybody had to wash their hands. They put me in the COVID bay. I didn't have COVID, by the way. I had constipation, begins with C, easily confused through the NHS, I suppose. But what actually happened is they laced me full of fucking laxatives. And then because I took pictures and I was questioning the doctors why they're not keeping their distance, they kept me on an IV for over like 12 hours. They wouldn't let me eat or anything. And they said that it was a blockage. And if I was to eat, I'd choke and die. It was really quite scary and severe at the time. And because I was like, well, you guys haven't even washed your hands, and he's had one hands in one patient and then had hands in the other patient. And because I put it on camera, I got escorted out, yes, with like 2 pessaries up my ass and 10 laxatives. And they tried to shove me on the freaking bus. Now, I'm not being funny, but if that is just me on a general, I can't imagine how it must feel to be at such crisis, knowing that your body's fitting in front of doctors, have medical history of fitting in particular, which seizures are really no joke. And then to go through all of that, and it's literally, I've just read the hospital notes and it's all documented. He had 11 seizures whilst in the hospital, and yet you've got the police jumping on top of him with a truncheon and beating his head off the wall. His head is literally like an egg. And there's nothing you can do about it. If they say that you're mentally unfit, it's your word against theirs. And if you're having a seizure, how does that even work, Hayleigh?
If you're classed as a danger to others, yeah, which could stem from a wide range of things, yeah, the police are legally allowed to use whatever force they can, and it is police brutality is a thing, right? And yeah, again, sensitive subject.
Did you see what I had posted on my social media? If you guys didn't know, it's a woman who's taking a video, and she's waiting for the police to come out because a woman had died yesterday due to police kneeling on the back of a woman, and she's dead. And she's dead. She's gone. She's dead. And the police come out with the tape, and she went, "You killed him," and he was just very nonchalant. I don't know what's going on with the police, and I definitely don't know what's going on with the NHS. I've been quite lucky. I've recently had a bit of a low fall. I've not been feeling very good. I haven't been very well physically. So I thought, right, I'm going to get my mental health checked. And they put me on sertraline. And to be fair, I don't know if anybody else has been on sertraline, but I've got a spitty mouth. I feel really sick. And, you know, I had one phone call from the doctors and I said, I'm not feeling very well. He was like, oh, well, I'll ring you back next week and see how you feel.
They literally say to you as well, anytime you put on an antipsychotic, an antidepressant, an anti-anxiety, they always say, we've got to leave it 6 to 9 weeks. Like I got sectioned, I think it was probably 5 weeks after being on sertraline. I'd contacted my doctors over and over again saying, these pills aren't for me. You know, they are making me having psychosis. Like they really messed me up. And I spoke to you about this last night, didn't I, Jess? And all they said is, oh, we can't really do anything until we've, you know, put it into the 6 to 9 weeks. And then we'll see how you level up after that. Obviously, antidepressants do take about 6 weeks to get into your system, obviously change chemicals in your brain. I would say, I know my body, you know your body, right? I know if a tablet's not working for me, right? And it ended up resulting in me taking an overdose and getting sectioned because my doctors were not listening to me. And sertraline, and again, that was sertraline that did that to me. So they just don't take mental health seriously sometimes. Like I told you earlier on, that last Thursday I tried to make a doctor's appointment, Jess, as you know, for my medication, obviously about my mental health and stuff like that, because obviously I've seen 2 other mental health professionals and they both told me that I'm on the incorrect medication for what I've got. Obviously I suffer with EUPD, BPD, obviously they're very similar, and obviously the PTSD. Obviously I've been on mirtazapine for 12 years now. I've been told by 2 obviously professionals saying like you need to be on quetiapine. I've asked my doctors for over a year now to change my medication and they just don't take seriously. Now they're making me wait. We're at day 8 now. My doctor's appointment's tomorrow. It's been 8 days since I've called up.
It's 8 days too late. And like I wonder how they make these assessments to, like, when you have the history of mental health, like myself, I've had a history of mental health. I've had a history of suicide attempts. Do you know, like, even though, look, I don't feel like that this time, I just feel really low and very teary. I'm not finding much joy in a lot of things.
I know, babe, I said the other day, didn't I, that you're not yourself? I said it to you.
I think no matter where we look, I don't know, Ross, if you've got the same experience, but like, I'm on social media and I'm scrolling and it's just doom and gloom. You go out, it's doom and gloom. You know, like, your doctors are meant to be your go-to people. They're meant to be there. They're meant to be available to you. That's what you pay your taxes for. You know, especially when it comes down to mental health, we only have to look at the news to see what the outcome is when mental health isn't regulated and people are not, their needs are not being met at an absolute time of crisis. We've got people, that guy's just been sentenced, hasn't he? The one who done Liverpool with a parade, running everybody over. Yeah, like literally, he's just been sentenced. Yeah, he's been sentenced.
What did he get? Do you know?
I can't actually. It wasn't much. It wasn't enough. But I don't even know how that wasn't classed as a terrorist attack because he wasn't black.
I was there at Liverpool. I was at that parade, right?
Oh my God, was you?
Yeah, I was in the street next to where it happened. Obviously, I didn't know. Nobody knew that had even happened. We just got to the train station to come back to Warwickshire, and they were like, all the trains stopped. We were like, why? And nobody knew. It was barbaric. We had to get an Uber back from Liverpool to obviously where we live. And we don't know, I'm not going to disclose where we live, but you know.
That's quite a journey though. Wow.
300, I think it was about £320 we had to pay. It was, yeah, absolutely barbaric.
Wow.
But at the same time, obviously, I don't actually know his reasons for why he did it. I obviously got said that he was in his car and he panicked, right? But it was, honestly, I would never have gone if I knew what it was actually like. Like, my anxiety was through the roof all the time. Oh God, people like running over cars, people like climbing on the cars and jumping. Like, I don't blame him for what he did, but in like a state of panic. So
he knocked down children.
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying I don't blame him for running kids over. Jesus Christ, fucking hell. I'm not saying that.
I don't mind ramming the grannies with my trolley at Lidl's, but
no,
kids
but what
are
I'm
just
saying
another
is,
thing with the car.
if somebody was suffering with mental health driving through that and people are jumping over his fucking car, do you know what I mean? I'm not saying, I'm not condoning running kids over.
Obviously not. But like how the whole point is, I think from school we get taught how to do adding, subtracting, we get taught science, but one thing what we're not taught is how to deal with stress, how to self-regulate, you know, like coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
And the only coping mechanisms what kids and adults, I guess, which we are exposed to, is what we see in music videos and what we see in films, and they're not very healthy ways to cope at all. I think it's about time that we take a really good long look at humanity and how we treat each other, because it's rough out there.
I'm just going to close my kitchen door because the wind keeps opening and closing it. I keep thinking someone's walking there. So one sec. Sorry, Jessie.
No worries. Ross, you were saying that you had your own experience with mental health, and I'm sure like you've had your own experience in failings. How long is it? You're in a different district to me, so what is the wait time for yourself?
Varies really, I suppose, because like obviously I'm down with the doctors and everything because I suffer with depression, anxiety, intrusive thoughts. I too have seizures as well, but that's not to do with my mental health. That's to do with my epilepsy because I got diagnosed with that at a young age. I got diagnosed at 17 with epilepsy. So yeah, like I've been to the hospital a few times with my mental health, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to put you down with something called Living Well Tameside."
Sweetheart.
And yeah, so I've just been waiting for phone calls off them and everything.
What did you say they put you down? They put you down for?
They put me down for phone calls with like mental health teams, because obviously Jess was just saying then about like obviously she knows like about a little bit about my mental health as well. So I was just explaining to her.
No, what did you just call it? Living with what? Sorry.
Living Well Tameside, it's called.
I had something similar back in 2022,
Sorry,
2023.
What is that? I've never heard of it.
It's like telephone support.
Oh.
Because like the area that I live in, obviously I'm not saying too much, but like so like the borough of it is called Tameside. So that hence why it's called Living Well Tameside, because they deal with people in the Tameside area. So yeah, it's supposed to be over the phone and everything, but the woman never phoned me because she was off sick and everything. But you know, I understand that people get sick and everything, but in a flip side, you think that they'd have someone else on.
This is what I was about to say. They should have, you know, a backup or something like that.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. That's
yeah, it's all very well and good having backup, but I've got an adjustment disorder and I don't like strangers. So how does the NHS work around these sort of key issues then?
It's quite hard though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Because obviously you don't like strangers and everything, but like if you get comfortable with that just one person, then obviously you wouldn't feel like that all the time. Do you know what I mean? You'd probably feel a lot better knowing the fact that you're seeing that same person. So like if it's the same doctor consistently, like what you said before, Hayleigh, consistency is key, which is true as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't even think that. When was the last time we all seen the same doctor repeatedly? Because I think
Oh
gone
no,
are
we
the
don't.
days when we used to have like our own doctor, we used to have our own Bobby on the street. All of that is gone, and since then, we have really seen society absolutely catapult into an uptime low. These are really difficult times what we're living in, and I wanted to share this. I know that we spoke about suicide prevention and everything, but how do we know how to help other people? Can we go through top 3 things to look out for in our loved ones, in our friendship groups, in our family, when it comes down to mental health? When do we know it's the time to make that phone call to the doctors, knowing at the moment, if we've got any viewers and they're thinking, oh, I'm not sure, do I leave it to this point? I don't want people to leave it to a crisis point. For me, it was when I lost interest in the things what I love to do, when I stopped washing as much, when my house became dirty, when I stopped answering my phone. I think they're my 4 key things. When you start to push people away, when you stop to look after yourself with your hygiene, when you stop your involvement in all your sociable activities. I think there are 3 massive, huge indicators that actually there is something going on in your mental health. Would you agree, or do you have a different red flag?
I'd agree, but I'd add on an extra one because I'm a little swine for doing this. So someone will making a like plans with me, and I'd be all up for it, and then on the day I'd make up an excuse, and I'd be like, "Nah, I can't come." I'm like,
See,
"Why?"
So
I
pushing
just, I
people
just can't
away.
come.
Pushing people away is like one of the biggest ones. Hayleigh J, I know
Yeah.
what you do. You ignore your phone.
No, see, my biggest one, if my biggest red flag, if I know that obviously what I agree with both of what you say, but I leave it. I go through that, and then I know my biggest thing is when I start dissociating. And when I say what I mean by dissociating is I can dissociate for sometimes hours, right? And I'm not with.
Can we explain what dissociation is, just for
So
our listeners?
it's basically where obviously everyone's experience with dissociation will be different. In my way is I could be in a room full of people and they'll be talking to me, and I literally I could even try and like understand what they're saying, but my brain is just not braining. Like I will switch off. You'll be talking
Like
to
you're
me.
present, but you're not present.
Yeah, but then another thing as well was like I could like lay in bed and like not even have like the TV be on in the background, and I'd find myself like just coming back round and I'd just be staring at the wall kind of thing. Like, and I'm thinking, how long have I been like dissociating for? Like hours can go like that. And I know, and then after that is when obviously previously I went into psychosis after that, so I started hearing things. I it's quite an uncomfortable thing for me to talk about, especially with the whole section thing. But yeah, I started hearing things. I started actually getting verbal tics, which again, it's something I would just find myself. I'd say, I don't want to say what they were, but I had like 3 phrases that I'd just be like doing something like washing up, and then I'll just say it out loud. Kind of like Tourette's, but it's not Tourette's. I can't explain it, but my brain was completely like disconnected from me. So like it was, yeah, again, I just couldn't in my concentration. I couldn't concentrate on anything. Again, had no enjoyment, couldn't get involved in conversations. I felt like the world around me was going like slow. Like I'm still normal speed, everyone around me is going slow, or it'd be the other way where everyone's going fast.
Where everything's so fast.
Yeah, and I was just completely just disconnected from everyone, everything. I felt like basically like I was going so crazy, like, and then obviously that's when I started hearing voices. I started getting hallucinations, which again you can actually have what's it called when you hear things that obviously it's optical illusions, and when you hear things, not illusions, what they're called.
Is it impairment?
No, when you see things.
When you have an illusion.
No, what they're called. You see things.
Oh,
yeah, because of H. Huh? Yeah,
hallucinations.
So I was having basically visual hallucinations. I was having hallucinations, but I actually had, weirdly enough, and I actually googled this. This is a thing, right? I was having hallucinations of scents. I was smelling things that weren't there as well, like. And then basically, then I ended up getting sectioned, and well, that was a fucking roller coaster in itself, you know. It was fucking mint, and I didn't have to pay for any fucking drugs whilst I was there. All the drugs were free, and it was mint, and I loved it, and I'd do it again. Just saying.
Okay. So with all these warning signs, for me, not feeling hungry. I love my food. I don't bounce. I don't avoid salads, but I'll have everything with that salad. Thanks.
We love a salad, don't we, kids? We love a salad.
Not being able to sleep. I totally understand concentration as well. Like, and then when somebody asks you a question, I felt automatically like panicked. I start to go into like panic mode, and then it feels like you're being attacked. And I think that's another real telltale sign that your mental health is. Yeah, because I think we mask, and I think the older we get, we kind of mask as well. And I'm really lucky. I have a therapist every week, and so like I've learned it's better for me to not mask because I go all the way down because I'm hyper independent. And actually, this time I've reached out and I've just been really open and honest. So if you are listening and you are going through some difficult times, please do be open, do be honest. Don't make yourself vulnerable to people who would take advantage of you.
100%.
That is 100%.
100%.
Because misery does love company, and a lot of people will say that they're here to help you. They'll smile in your face while having a knife ready to plunge in your back.
One thing I would like to add as well, like I think it's really important to have basically a no questions asked person where you can literally, Jessie, you're mine and I know I'm yours, like I would call you and I'll just say like, you know, no questions asked, I'm feeling this type of way, I'm thinking about this. Obviously don't ask me why, because I can't explain why I'm feeling like this, why I'm thinking about this, right? I just need you to fucking listen to me, yeah, and just fucking I just need someone, you know, someone that you trust, someone that hasn't got any false pretenses, someone hasn't got anything like that. And you know, like you said, misery loves company. Someone that's not going to encourage you to drink, take drugs, you know, again, because after that, we all know that they come down, you're going to feel 10 times fucking worse. You just need
some soup and a cuddle and a hair stroke.
Literally, even if you haven't got it in you to go and see that person, just call them and say, look, I'm feeling this type of way. I don't know why. I'm thinking about this. You know, I'm so overstimulated or I'm so understimulated. That's another thing. You are either overstimulated or understimulated. There's no in between. And it's like, I just don't feel like me. And that person, it's okay. It's okay. You know, I hate that. You know, I fucking hate that. It's okay not to be okay. You know, it makes sense. But it's just too fucking, stereotypical saying, but just be like, okay, baby, you always say, okay, baby, like you are loved, you know, I'm here. And then you check up on me every hour, like you're still alive, not you're still alive, but you know what I mean? Just
letting you know that I'm thinking of you without like, so it doesn't come across as an attack.
Yeah. And another thing as well, you have to have that person that you do trust, you know, wholeheartedly, because again, I've had it in the past where people will use things against you if they're, you know, just everyone that smiles at you ain't your fucking friend, bro. They ain't your fucking friend. And it's like,
and family are not always good for you either. I remember my sister telling me to take twice the overdose and slit my wrist for good measure, and if I'm still around, hang myself.
Oh, she sounds.
So don't always tell your family things. I remember my mum saying to me, "You got crazy pills. Take crazy pills." I'm actually crazy because of you, love, because you're a narcissist. But
well,
you know,
I got sectioned
through that.
I got sectioned, obviously, you know, from the overdose. I'm not going to say who it was, but I had a very close family member say to me, instead of asking me if I'm okay, anything like that, they said to me, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" That was why I was sectioned.
Yeah. I'm very disappointed in you. I remember being in hospital in 2013. I took an overdose. I had to discharge myself. It's funny when you're in the hospital, you took an overdose, all of a sudden your ears don't work. They tilt their head to the side and speak really loudly at you like you've gone deaf. It's like, what? Like, I can't believe like this is how our doctors treat mental health patients. It's not right at all.
Before I got sectioned, obviously I was hospitalized, for, you know, and then before I got sectioned, they left me in a what's it called, a observation room in the hospital where there's no bed, right? There's no bed. By the way, I had just a normal hospital gown on, right? No clothes on it. I was freezing. It was a leather sofa. You couldn't open the doors yourself. You had security on the other side, and they observed you for 18 hours. I was in this one room, yeah, no TV, nothing. I had to see a mental health triage, then I had to see a mental health doctor, then I had to see basically a psychiatrist, and that's when I got sectioned. But for 18 hours, feeling like after taking an overdose, my legs weren't working because I took 48 gabapentin tablets. Obviously they're nerve blockers, I couldn't walk, yeah. And to be locked in a room feeling that, you've got to remember, I was still in psychosis, and it was absolutely fucking horrific. And like, for somebody that
felt really lonely,
to feel that isolated, that vulnerable,
yeah,
and basically, that's the crazy person there. I felt like I was being judged. Like, at the same time, because I was in that level of psychosis, I wasn't like thinking like that. I just felt fucking, I can imagine like abused dog being put in a dog shelter and there's dogs barking everywhere. Like, that's the only way I could explain it. And it took them.
It didn't even feel like you were being treated like a human being.
Well, it took me 18 hours. I was in this one room for, and I just thought, like, it was really weird. Like, it's basically like an anti-suicidal room. Like, there's no way you can kill yourself in this at all because there's fuck all in it. Even the clock's built into the wall, so you can't hang yourself from the clock. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. It was just absolutely barbaric. And I think that room alone is enough to make not going to say a normal person, but we'll say,
anybody well in mind would absolutely go.
A stable person. It's enough to put a stable person into fucking, oh god, it's just fucking dreadful. And
I feel like human beings, we are social, we are from colonies, we come from tribes. I think the biggest
herd animals, really.
We are, yeah, I think that we are. I think the biggest thing that the NHS has failed to pick up on, there is a massive study in India. I think I've said this before in the previous podcast, but actually what they had done is a study with group work. Instead of medicating, actually bringing a group of people who are mentally unwell together and giving each other challenges and meeting up each week and focusing on all the things you can do with support of just being a person, just for the words of inclusion, just for you to belong to something. And I think that the Western world is very much I, me, you. It is very, very egotistical driven. I don't think that we champion on collaboration. I think that we champion by competition. And there is something where it's part and parcel of the evolution of like English history, maybe, that where we have been made to believe that it is just us on our own. Yeah. And then to go through the worst times in our lives and to feel already isolated. I feel so sorry for you to actually re-traumatize you and to not even consider yourself as a treatment or not even being a worthy person, but actually using the words just like an abandoned dog.
Yeah,
that's really harmful for anybody's soul.
Yeah.
Do you know, like we are not all made out of concrete. We all do have feelings, and it's not all softy. No, let's be real. People like you, people like me, we're kind to others because we know what hurt feels like. I know they say that hurt people. Well, healed people heal people too. And this is why we're right here in the real room, keeping it real and being very honest and talking about real experiences and trying to create that awareness. The therapy is what is available, because we need to be doing things which are group work, more holistic work. The NHS is failing everybody from very young to very old. It's like, it doesn't matter who you are, the NHS is pretty much a write-off.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Jess. 100% completely agree with you.
On the downside of things, shall we turn it round? Because we've spent quite a bit of time on this, and I think it gets really sensitive. It brings back really unwanted feelings. So let's talk about how Jessie makes it all better again. I've just come back
Jessie went on the radio.
Jessie's been on the radio. Woo! Been on EXT. Shout out to Afrolicious Mama. If you don't know her, check her out. She does sound bowl healings. She is an amazing woman. She also does spoken word Afro beats, which is really cool, something nice to listen to. You can check her out on EXT Radio. But I was there with myself and Lewis M, and basically that's my producer, and we're bringing a new album out in April. And the songs, what you're going to find there are the unifying things, what I'm talking about. And the story behind it is when I was going through my worst point, I was too frightened to go to the doctors and stuff like that because I was fighting for my kids. So I decided I was going to journal. I did have therapy and I was journaling, and my journals turned into like poems. And from my poems, they turned into songs. And I originally started to write with like reggae acoustic. And so then I have now made an album which is ready to heal and touch others. And there's some really funny songs in there as well, which make people smile, like Dear Mary Jane, I'm dancing in my socks again in the rain. There is a story behind that, but that I will leave for the exclusive. Yes, I will leave that for the exclusive when we do the launch. Maybe next month we can go a little bit further into that. But yeah, I think keeping ourselves busy, drawing, painting, pick up the phone. Like Ross, I said to you, you know, like I really struggle to get some work done sometimes, even if we just phone each other to get our washing up done or to do our makeup, or even if you're in the bath or even if you're in the shower. Hayleigh J, you've had to do it with me before. You phone me. Both of us have been in the shower and we're like, yeah, just talking. It's just we seek connection.
And then at the end, you're always like, make sure you brush your teeth as well. Whilst you're in there, brush your teeth.
Right, yeah.
Oh. No, definitely.
I think it's weird to brush your teeth in the bath, like in the
I
shower.
know.
No, not
brush it in the
whilst I mean,
shower.
not whilst I was in the shower. Whilst I was in the bathroom, brushing my teeth.
Yeah, obviously
Oh, no,
in
I
the
do mine
bathroom,
in the
that's
shower.
understandable.
Oh,
but
now
like,
I've done
I know people that brush their teeth whilst they're in the shower, like
I've done it in
washing
the shower.
themselves and brushing themselves.
I bet you've
Just-
done it in the shower, mate.
I have.
Mm.
Talking
that,
of which,
though,
Miss Kinky Moo,
Hey.
shall we go to our challenge 25?
Oh, God.
25 dates before Christmas. We are on number 7. Have we had the update from
Seven.
Oh,
7?
lucky number 7. Well, this is a bit of a long story. So,
Sorry, you're gonna have to shorten it like it's
Hey?
penis.
I'm
I said you're gonna have to shorten it like it's penis.
I don't actually sleep with all of them, okay? Wow.
I'm going to get a fag for this one.
Huh?
I'm getting a fag for this one.
Oh, so I don't even know how to start this story, really. I don't even know where to start. So I'm going to try and say it really, really quick. So I met this person on Tinder, you know, same bullshit. What was I going to say? He's opening.
Mr. Red Flag before Mr. Other Red Flag.
So I don't think I've discussed this person yet.
No, I don't think. Yeah, I think we're missing 2.
I think we're missing quite a few out. This is why I need to actually sit in my notes. Fucking
She's
hell.
doing well.
I think you know more than I do, Jessie. Half the time, oh God, and me with names. Oh God, I don't even remember half their names. So this person, anyway, he is well, my type in a fucking nutshell. Been in prison, you know, covered in tattoos. Massive walking red flag. But obviously, as you both know, we're not taking these dates very seriously. Well, this guy, the first week I met him, so I've met him a couple of times now. He come over and he's like, right, we're gonna go to the shop because he wanted to drink. And I was just like, oh, okay.
He didn't tell you can't have no snacks, did he?
No. I told him I wasn't drinking, and he was like, oh, come and have a drink. I was like, no, I'm not having a fucking went to the shop for his drinks, by the way, not mine, his, and both his bank card and his credit card got declined. So I lent him 20 quid, right? He's like, I'll pay you back tomorrow, sweet. Anyway, so that next morning, he went to, I actually don't know where he fucked off to, but he fucking came back. I don't know why he came back, but he came back. And anyway, he's just full of literally constipation, full of shit, right? Fast forward the week later, again, he come over, he had to borrow some more money off me. And then it's just, you know, when somebody is like talking to you and you just sit there and just think, well, that's a fucking lie. That makes no sense. You've already told me the story, but now the story's fucking changed. Like, it
So
was
he
just
gaslit you.
well, it's just inconsistency, right? And it's also like he's saying that he's opening a 60 grand gym. He didn't even have enough money to buy fucking 2 cans of AU, for fuck's sake, bro. Come on, man. Right? Anyway, so there's more to that story. But by the way, this bloke told me he was 5'8", right? I'm 5 foot, about 5'5", right? This mandem had to wear these things in his shoes to make him taller. He's shorter than me, right? He's 5'4", okay? So I don't know why they lie. Like, we're not going to fucking find out. It's not something that you can like put makeup on and hide. Bro, tell me that you're fucking short. Like, do you know what I'm saying? So anyway, we will fast forward to yesterday, where one of my friends, bless her heart, she's a very, very good friend of mine. She's just had a baby though, so that's why it took us a little bit longer to obviously catch up. I get a random message with a screenshot of number 7 saying, God, I need a name dropped in there, saying, watch out for number 7, he's a scammer, right? So I was like, what the fuck you want about? And I can't go into too much detail of what he was selling, but as you can possibly imagine, you know, but he used to do it over Snapchat and he used to post packages out. So my friend sent him previously about 2 years ago 250 quid for a package, right, that didn't get delivered, right? Then apparently he resent it out but wouldn't send the tracking numbers and eventually blocked her. So I've then messaged him saying, you know, telling him, you know, was it true that you've scammed my friend? He says, no, I don't scam anyone. I said, well, that's a fucking lie, because you told me that you buy gold bars, which again, fucking God, who sells fucking gold bars over the internet? And then he sends them fraudulent notes, mate. That wouldn't happen. He also said to me the other day as well that he was going to Thailand for Christmas. Bear in mind, this man's on probation, license. So I'm like, you're not even allowed to leave the country. He's like, oh, I've got a passport in a different name. Fucking bro, like, do you think I'm fucking stupid? Anyway, I decided last night to make a group chat, little group chat with me, my friends, and the scammer, number 7, right? Where I sat there, like, you know that meme of Michael Jackson eating the popcorn, right? I sat there like, look at this fucking mess that I have made. And I was just in absolute euphoria. Like, this big argument's happening where this man's trying to say that he didn't scam her, he doesn't scam, he doesn't sell them things. I said, yes, you do sell them things, because you offered me one when you come around it. And then obviously I didn't do it because I can't say anything, so I'll go, woo! Like, anyway, and I was just like, you're fucking lying to me. Like, I was there. And yes, it turns out that this number 7 is a massive scam artist and lies that much that he can't even get his fucking own height correct. So, you know, and he still lives with his mom, which oh, and by the way, the excuse, which is a very common one with men, yeah. I'm going to have to pick you up in my van because my car's in the garage. I think we spoke about this in a previous podcast where I say that's one thing. We did. Their car's always in the fucking garage. This man's driving around in a fucking clapped 12 plate fucking white, what them transit vans. And he's telling me he's opened a 60 grand fucking gym, but his card gets declined. Like,
did he ask you to go into the back of the van by any chance and kidnap you?
No, he didn't, mate. But fucking, he's getting back. So anyway, whilst he was here last time, he decided, it took me 4 days to get rid of this man, by the way, 4 days. He decided to move loads of his stuff in. So I've got all of his cards, his trade cards, his bank, well, not his bank cards, work. I've got some of his jewellery here. I've got his aftershave. I've got so many of his clothes, which I don't know why. I've took them all hostage. And I said, you're not having any of your shit back until you pay my friend her money back. And well, he hasn't responded to either of us from last night, probably because, well, I don't blame him. It was a bit of a fucking, you know, it's a hard wank. I'd probably manage it, but it's a tough one. So yeah, I've decided that I'm keeping everything hostage, and that's number 7.
Okay, do you want to?
Oh, and one more thing. He decided to go to Asda and buy us matching pajamas.
And slippers.
What the fuck? And another thing, sorry. And another thing, in the 4 days where he was staying here, he had to, he called it bez. He was bezzing. I don't know if you know, any of you know what that means. When you bez something, it means you shoplift it. He asked me what I wanted for dinner. And he's like, oh, I've got to go to Asda, but I'm going to have to bez it because he couldn't even afford to buy a pizza. And then I have a change jar, which is actually usually here, but I think I've moved it over there yesterday when I was cleaning. He kept every single, like, couple of times a day, but like, I'm just taking £2 out the jar. In the end, I was like, can you stop taking my fucking money? Like, I don't know, but it was just an ick from start to finish, really.
Well, we need a red flag and a green one. What do you think, Ross? Each time we hear these stories, we should be putting up and wearing green. We need a red one.
I've got another person, number 8, apparently coming.
There's my red flag.
Woo!
My fish pocket.
Fucking hell. You know, we're a little bit underfunded on this podcast. We have to use Walker's packets. I think I've got a prawn cocktail packet over there.
at least we can afford things, all right? We don't have to pinch
mate? Well, I don't know. All my £2 have been taken, so I'm currently. This is the only thing I've got, a trolley token.
Thank you, Mr. Seven.
Oh, number 7. So yeah, number 7 stuff is currently. I've took it hostage, and he's not having anything back until he pays my friend her money back. And let's get real, I don't think he can afford the £250. So all of his stuff, right? Well, it's not really worth a great deal. I could probably get some of the tops on Depop, but who knows?
Put it on Vinted.
Maybe Hayleigh, you can release your own line of Build-A-Prick, like Build-A-Bear, and like record all their excuses, and each time you touch their belly, like you can just sell them. So like any women out there would just know what they all sound like. My car's in the garage.
Do you know funny enough, do you know something that I used to do actually? Oh god, this is really bad. Whenever I used to go to like a lad's house or something, and like the next day or later on that day when you're leaving, I used to always god, this is fucking bad, but I used to go and like take like a hoodie or like a t-shirt and like just take the most expensive one, and then I used to sell them on Depop. Like a Palms Angel hoodie or something like that, you get a 10 or 15 quid for it, so might as well get a bit of money back. I saw it as compensation. Oh god, the amount of odd.
Any lads listening to this right now, stay away from Hayleigh.
I don't know how I do it. I don't know how I do it, guys. I think maybe I am starting to think maybe I am the issue. I don't think I am, because I'm marvelous, but maybe, who knows? Not me.
Oh, marvellous, sat there drinking your orange juice in your glass.
Are we all on orange juice? I did have orange juice, but I kicked it over.
I'm on orange squash, with my beer Moretti glass that I've come across. Probably stole that from someone's house. I think that might be from a Butler's, not Butler's League. What's it called? Like what they called a hungry horse. I think it's from a hungry horse. Well, I've obviously left it with half a pint in there or something. So my social battery probably ran out one night, and I thought, I'm taking my pint and going home. And that's all I've got to add really this week.
Okay, so what have we got to look forward to next week? Any updates from you, Ross, for next week?
Not really, no. Just same old stuff.
I would like to start inviting some of the artists to come and speak about their stories, actually, in the music industry. If you have a story, guys, in the music industry, trying to break through to the music industry, using music as therapy, that's what we're all about. I'd like to hear from you guys. Get involved. Message me, Jessie Defiant. And we'll have you on.
I've also got somebody else that I would like to bring on, and she actually contacted me saying that she wants to come onto the podcast. A girl that I've been friends with for years and years and years and years, and she's also got very, very similar stories where she's gone through obviously court and stuff, fighting for her kids. And
tell you what, we can do it. Let's talk about social services actually on the next one. It's going to take a little bit more time than what we've got right now, but yeah, let's do that. Let's bring her on.
Yep, definitely. No, it's not social services. Sorry, she's not involved with social services. It's more with the narcissistic co-parent. This is what it's about, and it's gone to the point where it's gone to court and stuff like that. So it's more like that. But the social services, Jessie, I think that is something that you do need to discuss because of what you've had to deal with. But
still dealing with.
We're still dealing. Sorry, but But yes, it's more to the point of going down the whole abusive relationships with co-parenting with an abuser, co-parenting with a narcissist, and again the court regulations and stuff like that involved. So again, she's with mental health and stuff like that. So she'd be somebody to bring on, and she's fit as fuck. So
they have actually touching on that subject. I believe that they've just brought it into law. That it doesn't become mandatory that the fathers now have unfettered access to children through the courts because too many incidences have happened. And there was a big campaign about talking about how the local authorities, the LA and the police are overly supportive of abusive fathers and mothers and allowing contact. So yeah, that would be a great subject to talk about. It's something which I do know an awful lot about. If anybody does have any questions, prior to this podcast, please do drop it down, get involved, ask the questions. Hopefully I'll be able to answer them for you. I do have 2 law books as well, one with the family courts and the other one through the constitutional rights. So we can go into that on the next podcast.
Lovely. Bloody lovely.
I'll try and get my mate Comprehend on, who's a music artist. He's doing really well for himself. He's been through some stuff. I've interviewed him already for my separate podcast that I do, which is the Fresher Sounds podcast. And I saw on social media recently that he got invited to go to, do you know that BBC introducing, but in Leicester City, where he's from?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he got invited to go down to there, and he got interviewed by BBC introducing Leicester City version.
Mm-hmm.
So, got a star in the making.
Oh, there we go. Then we've got a lot of backup coming up.
That's it.
So, yes.
Yeah, next week, guys.
Yeah, and also another thing as well for next week. Actually, Ross, you're more tech savvy than me.
Okay.
I need to try and I'm going to send you a screen recording of this group chat, and I just think it would be good to have a little green screen and just play some of the messages where you can hear how men lie. And that is all.
We can have it on the back. on the background.
Green flag Harry.
Yeah, literally. Oh, and also, can I say something? Can I add something? Mr. Latvian, I think he was number 3 or 4, oh, you do not need no more. What is this? You know that one? He messaged me the other day saying, do you not need me anymore?
Wasn't he number 1?
I thought he was number 1.
No, Mr.
No,
Miller and Carter man was number 1. The one that
we didn't talk about Miller and Carter man.
Oh no, he's lovely. Like, he's a pure green flags. Actually, maybe next week I'll talk about a green flag guy rather than a red one all the time, because he is green flag. Even
So
though
why don't you want the green flags, Hayleigh?
Because a child brought up in chaos, yes, is an adult whose comfort and home feels chaotic, and safe and quiet is uncomfortable for me. So yeah.
Okay.
And he's not been to prison.
Finally.
Oh God. Well, Black Widow and all of that.
Let's talk about that next time.
Yes.
Did you know, Ross and listeners out there, that there is a vagina. It's a magic vagina.
Magic vagina.
Hayleigh J has a vagina, a magic vagina, which just puts people in jail.
It's called the prism pum pum. Don't say I've got a mangina. Fucking hell.
It's like a hole with a tune connected to it.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, just to let everyone know, Hayleigh has a mangina.
With a magic bell. Ding, 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 ding.
Fucking hell. Yeah, I've got a mangina, everyone. Just let you know. The lads love a mangina. I have got a vagina. I have a magic vagina that puts men in prison. Basically, they call me the Black Widow. Jessie calls me the Black Widow because everyone I shag I put in prison. Apparently, so
basically,
yeah,
it's true.
Long story short, so yeah. I had a very comical phone call from Jessie the other day. She calls me, cry laughing down the phone. You've done it again. She's like, you've put this person's name in prison. I was like, who the fuck are you talking about? She's like, I didn't even know that was his name, for fuck's sake. By the way, I was dating somebody for like 2 years, and I've only just Jessie found out his actual name the other day. I've been calling the wrong name for about 2.5 years now. So, but yeah, and that was another one. Like DJ Khaled, another one.
Rewind.
Oh, that was funny though, Jess. When I tried to fucking say his name back to you and I got it wrong. By the way, his name is 2 initials. And then when I asked Jessie about it and I said these 2 initials, she was like, who were you talking about? And I was like, him. She's like, Hayleigh, that's not his name. And I was like, well, who the fuck's that? And she was like, I don't know. So, yeah.
Did you say LC? You said LC.
No, I said LT. And they're not even his initials. Can I say his initials? Yeah, I can.
No.
They're just initials.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, his initials are CJ, and I called him LT. So I can't even get initials right, let alone fucking names. I called Jessie's fucking ex or whatever. I called him the fucking wrong name, didn't I? A whole night. He didn't even correct me once. And every time I come around Jessie, she's got to say to me, his name is not Liam. And I'm like, okay, I remember now. It's not Liam.
And we're back together.
Oh yeah, I know. I kind of dropped that in there, and I thought, fuck, I've done it again. Loose lips sink ships. Usually the only loose lips on me are my vagina. So, yeah.
We'll crop that part out.
Yeah, cut that out. Anyway.
Oh, sorry.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Huh? Thanks.
Can we cut that out?
So next week,
can we crop that out about me absolutely just dropping Jess's exit? Oh, whatever.
Yeah,
or about my loose vagina.
We'll keep your loose. No, we'll take Jess's ex out.
Oh,
and then we'll keep your loose vagina in.
Oh, I thought he was going to crop my loose vagina out. I was going to say, fucking hell. And
can't cut your loose vagina out because if you've got a loose vagina, it's too wide to crop out.
Can I fucking actually just add something to that? Because this is another thing that men chat shit about, right? So you know when they say like, oh, if girls are slag, they're loose. Well, the vagina is actually a muscle. So the more you use your vagina, the tighter it fucking gets. So men can suck my dick. Just thought I'd add that in.
Oh, you've got a mangina.
Yeah, men can suck my
You got a magic vagina.
I have got a magic vagina.
I'll
add that one to my CV. A magic minge. I've got an MM. I've got M&M. Magic M&M. I'm M&M.
No, that's around
here. Magic minge. Right, well, I love you guys. I think we'll leave it at that, won't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to put a pin in it and we'll bring it back up next week.
Magic minge might drop.
Ross, you're going to have to write down the things what we're talking about next week. So, unjust courts and decisions.
Yeah.
Domestic violence in relationships and co-parenting.
Green flags in a man. We're talking about
green flags in a man. Let's talk about the green flags in a man. In fact, I'll bring my Pat Sharp's book as well. The Freedom Project. If nobody knows about it, if you are struggling with domestic violence, please do get in touch with the Freedom Project. They are incredible. They helped me get away from an awful time in my life. They helped me turn it around. They made me actually spot most of the red flags. Some of us like to be Spanish and go for it. Hayleigh, me.
Sometimes, let me add, sometimes them red flags, look a little bit pink when they've had a fresh fucking skin fade put in. Okay, so sometimes we can see them, but they're looking a little bit pink that day. So, we ignore.
It's all down to the freshest skin fades.
And also, can I also stay mad? Also, can I say, victims? So we'd obviously be talking a little bit negatively about the police system and the justice system and shit like that, but victim support with the police are brilliant when it comes to domestic violence. Not the actual police, they're shit, but the victim support team are fantastic, and they are somebody who I've a very close subject of a sensitive, so you know what I mean. And they are fantastic. So, and they work differently to the police. So that is another thing that I wanted to add. It's all, there we go.
Okay, so we can touch on that subject as well and how it's been helpful to you.
Yeah.
My own experiences not so helpful, but this is what we're here for. It's the real room where all the realist talk comes from. All of our lovely hosts, Hayleigh J and Ross and myself, Jessie Defiant.
We love you.
We love you.
Until next time.
Till next time.
Bye.
So yeah, so because they were so iconic, I do love that word. Thank you for that word. To him, it was like he was, I think we could relate it to now, sort of people that get obsessed with sort of pop stars and stuff like that, especially with K-pop stan. Um, and he just saw it as he wanted to be them. So that's why he started wearing their skin. That's why he started to put makeup on, started to dress like them. You know, people didn't even know his mum had passed away because he was dressing up like her and
Yeah,
being like her. So it's sort of like all these little things, when you actually think about it, to him, I can see why they made sense.
yeah, totally. So we're gonna wrap up anyway now. So is there anything you'd like to say to anyone who's watching? You know, any advice that you'd like to give to anyone who's watching?
Yeah. One of the things I would love to say to you all guys is healing comes from within, with a white light is in us. It is there, ready to be used, ready to be built up. It's okay to not quite feel yourself and feel like you're walking through the fog, and that is okay. It's about now, when you recognize that, it's about what ways can you help yourself? What little things can you be grateful for? They're the things that will help you out of this fog. They're the things which will be able to guide you through. So thank you for having me, Ross.
No, thank you very much. And it's been an absolute pleasure to meet you for the first time. And I'm sure we'll meet again and do some more
Definitely.
interviews together. I'm more than happy to jump on your friends' podcast as well if they want to interview me. I'm more than happy to get interviewed as well. So yeah, I just want to say massive thank you and good luck with everything.
Brilliant. Thank you, lovely.